Hey guys, Dimension Master Studios here. How y'all doing? I'm coming at you guys with a different video this time around, as instead of a usual video where I talk about Ninjago stuff, in today's video I actually want to show off a couple of custom Ninjago minifigures that I made, because this is an idea that I've been toying around with for a while, making custom minifigures for Ninjago, and in today's video I want to show off 4 custom Ninjago minifigures that I've made. And if you guys want me to make more of them, then I will do that, and I will show off some more custom minifigures for Ninjago. But with all that out of the way, let's get into this whole thing. So the first minifigure that I want to show off is an upgraded version of the Master Lloyd minifigure. Now, this is a minifigure for Lloyd that we got with the release of some of the sets for Season 2 of Dragons Rising, and while I think this minifigure is really good, in fact, I think this is one of the best Lloyd minifigures of all time, there are some things that I decided to add on to this Lloyd minifigure in order to improve on it. For starters, the first thing that I added on was the golden shoulder armor that appears in the version of the minifigure for the Dragonstone Temple set, because when it comes to the version of the minifigure that I got, it came in the J Mech set that we got, not the version in the Dragonstone Temple set, so I added on that. But the other thing that I added on was this green cape, and the reason why I did that is because given that when it comes to Lloyd in the show, he's taken on a role very similar to Sensei Wu, and since Sensei Wu started wearing a cape starting in Season 11, I feel like it just made sense to give Lloyd a cape in order to better match him with Sensei Wu. But that's not all, as there is one other thing that I did when it came to this minifigure, and this is something that's optional. I took the hood piece that we got with the LEGO Ninjago movie version of Lloyd, and I decided to give this to Lloyd in order to make him look more like a wise old master. It's something that I think is kind of cool, and it's meant to be an alternative version of the minifigure, but the original version with the hair I feel works just as well. And so that's the first minifigure that I wanted to show off. Moving on from this, the next minifigure that I have is a ninja version of Wildfire. Now, this is an idea that the show has been setting up, especially during Season 2 with Kai referencing the idea of Wildfire potentially becoming a ninja, so something that I decided to do was make a ninja version of Wildfire. Now, this is just her minifigure that we've gotten with the Season 2 sets with some changes made to it, but still, I wanted to do something in order to have Wildfire look more like a minifigure. I've used the shoulder armor piece that the ninja have been using ever since Season 11, and I used the Legacy Kai mask because LEGO made 5 billion of those things, and I feel like it works given that Wildfire does have a lot of red when it comes to her color scheme. I also decided to keep the fire piece that can be seen in many of the minifigures that we get with Wildfire, plus I also decided to give her a transparent orange sword, with the idea being that the sword itself is made out of fire, which is an idea that I do think is kind of cool. And also when it comes to this minifigure, you can take off the mask piece in order to have Wildfire's hairpiece put on here if that's something that you want to do. And so that's the next minifigure that I made. Moving on from that, the next minifigure that I have is an aged up version of Nelson, with him being the Purple Ninja. This is something that I talked about during my big video discussing Nelson, but something that I think would be really interesting is if at some point during Dragons Rising, we got a chance to see Nelson as the Purple Ninja, and this minifigure is meant to be exactly that. My idea for what Nelson could look like if he was the Purple Ninja. Now, pretty similar to the other 2 minifigures that I talked about, this is basically an upgraded version of a minifigure for Nelson that we already had, with that being Nelson's most recent minifigure that he had in the Samurai X-Mech set, but it is something that I feel does work, and I think it does fit with Nelson's overall personality and character when it comes to the show. I gave Nelson the regular leg pieces, as at this point I feel like in the show Nelson would most likely be older, so he wouldn't have short legs or mid legs. When it comes to the mask, there isn't a regular purple mask that we've gotten so far for Nelson, outside of a recolored 2011 mask that was released back in Day of the Departed, but I don't have that mask. So instead, I decided to use the mask that Soul Archer uses in the Zane's Titan Mech set that was released a few years ago. I also gave Nelson the blue katana that he uses in the Samurai X-Mech set, as I feel like it made sense. Also, just like when it comes to the other minifigures, I also have a version of Nelson that is unmasked. Simply take off the mask, change around the head in order to get Nelson without the other mask, and there's his hairpiece in order to give you an older version of Nelson as the Purple Ninja. And finally, we have the last minifigure that I wanted to show off, and this is a more unique minifigure in comparison to the ones that I've made so far, because when it comes to this minifigure, this is actually meant to be a minifigure based on Salil, the Phantom Ninja. Now, for those of you who are newer to the Ninjago fanbase and don't know what I'm talking about, Salil is a character that was introduced in a Ninjago graphic novel that was released back in 2014 alongside Rebooted, and Salil is a character known as the Phantom Ninja, who was a pretty popular character when she was introduced, and although she isn't as popular as she once was, she is still a character that a lot of Ninjago fans do like, so I decided to make a minifigure based around her. For her torso and legs, I decided to use the suit that Nia wears during the Lego Ninjago movie, as I feel like that made sense for the figure. And as for the mask, I decided to use an all-black head because you can't see anything under Salil's mask, and I went with Nia's version of the hero hood piece, and the reason why I went with that mask specifically is because according to the Lego Ninjago wiki, the mask that Salil wears in her graphic novel appearance does match up with the hero hood, so I just decided to go with that one. And also, just like the other minifigures, I do have a version of Salil that is unmasked, although I will admit this one isn't as good in comparison to the other ones. Given that when it comes to Salil, she does have a pretty unique hairpiece that is multicolored, and I don't have that, so this is my best version of what an unmasked version of Salil would look like. And yeah, that's the final minifigure that I wanted to show off. And so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. This was definitely a more experimental video when it comes to the channel, given how I've never done anything like this before, but I want you guys to tell me down below, would you guys like me to make more videos like this where I make custom minifigures for Ninjago? I would genuinely like to know if you guys want me to make more videos like this, and if you guys want me to make more of these videos, then I will make more of these videos. And also, tell me if there is any ideas for custom minifigures that you guys want to see me make, and I may just end up doing them. Again, please tell me down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But before I end things, there is one last thing that I do want to say, and that is an update to my Ice Chapter video. At the time of me recording this video, the recording process for my Ice Chapter video has finally been completed, and the editing process will shortly begin. And when it comes to everything that I've recorded for the Ice Chapter video, at the time of me making this video, I have not edited any of the footage in terms of adding in things or taking things out, and at this current point, there is currently 2 hours and 37 minutes of footage on this video. I said that when it came to this Ice Chapter video, it was going to be a long one, and I meant it, and I really hope you guys are looking forward to that when it eventually comes out in 2 months. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So tell me down below, what do you guys think? Tell me, what do you guys think of these custom minifigures? And again, tell me, do you guys want me to make more videos like this in the future? Again, tell me down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Later, guys, this is Dimension Master Studios, signing off.